Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Moviegoers Film Review. Today, I am a freshly shaven Steven Shuler. Today's episode, we're going to be going over the film John Dies at the End, directed by Don Coscarelli. I'd like to start off by thanking Gustavdkf, who actually requested this film. Thank you, Gustav. It was actually a really good movie. I'm glad you requested it, and I was really happy to make this review. Now, to help you understand this film, you have to look at it as a series of events. That's really the best way to kind of try to make sense of everything, because the film really does not make sense. The film follows a character named David Wong as he's talking to a guy named Arnie to tell him his life story. Well, more to the point, his life recently since he came in contact with a drug nicknamed soy sauce. The big deal about this drug is it's supposed to open your mind to see things that other people are too blind to notice. This drug also happens to cause your mind to transcend time and space, which starts to become a problem for the main character. Let's face it, when you're talking to your best friend across the table, then you get a phone call also from your best friend asking how he's looking, you know there's something wrong. Now, without giving anything away, because this film is basically one huge spoiler alert, he starts talking with Arnie to tell him about what led up to that point. I will say this is a very creative and highly imaginative film. Downside is, the imagination is so through the roof that it doesn't often make sense. The only thing you really need to know about before going into this film is that soy sauce expands your mind to see what might not really be there. Now, to help you along in this homage to the mind of the insane, we have a wonderful cast including Chase Williamson, Rob Mays, Paul Giamatti, Clancy Brown, Glenn Turman, with appearances by Doug Jones, Daniel Roebuck, Fabiana Therese, Johnny Weston, and Jimmy Wong, with a voiceover by Kevin Michael Richardson. A few of the actors in this film actually made their claim to fame in very bizarre, out-there films, so there are certain names in this movie that when you see that name, you should know it's going to be an interesting film. I will have to say, the special effects in this movie are fantastic, especially considering how out there the film gets. Now, as you'll notice, I didn't say the word pretty, because I'll tell you, this film is a very graphic movie. Very bizarre imagery and very messed up scenes. A lot of the effects in the film are fantastic, but disgusting. I mean, let's face it, there's a scene where Dave and John are fighting a giant meat monster. So the film is very much so out there and very bizarre, but very creative and really worth watching. Now granted, I will warn you, if you're not a fan of bizarre images, a lot of gore, a lot of language, and random nudity, then don't go see this film because it's got a lot of it in there. Now for those of you who don't mind that kind of stuff, it really is a good movie. The imagination is bizarre and out there, but wonderful. So to all the filmmakers involved, brilliant job, the special effects were great, the props were wonderful, and the imagination was out there. To all the actors in the film, I really loved how you portrayed the characters. Each character was very bizarre and strange in their own wonderful way, and it made for a brilliant movie. And to the director, brilliant job. I loved the movie. I loved how you created the whole scene around them and how you put all these very bizarre circumstances for these characters and found a way to make them at least somewhat believable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and thanks again to Gustavdkf for his wonderful request. To everyone else out there, please give me a shout out for what films you want to watch, because I'm really happy to critique them. And as usual, this has been the Moviegoers Film Review, and I'm your host, Steven Shuler. See you later.